What would it take to get more power on your serve? Well, I'm going to give you a complete breakdown, the way that I see it when it comes to serving big with more effortless power. I actually want you to take the legs out of play. Don't use your legs if you want to develop a powerful serve. I know that sounds crazy, but hey, we're here to break down some of those misconceptions and really get to the heart of the matter when it comes to the serve. The legs are not the issue. They are not going to give you the power. That's not actually the most important thing when it comes to the serve. We've got to talk about the upper body. Okay, so here's what we got to do. We got to get that continental grip. A lot of players serve with a forehand grip. We get that continental grip and call it a shake hands grip. That's going to be very important to develop power on the serve. What's important about the grip as well is we need to hold the racket lower. So what I want you to do is I want you to make sure the pinky is at the end of the racket. Too often players are choked up like this. You lose a lot of power when you're choked up too much. So you have to hold the racket lower. You also have to hold the racket so that the hand is angled. You cannot have what I call a block grip like this. A lot of players hold the racket like this. You've got to spread that index finger and get that trigger finger working so that you can get the hand working. You can get the hand more relaxed on the racket. So those are some big concepts when it comes to the grip that a lot of players don't even think about. They think, oh, I just need my continental grip, but they forget that they need to hold the racket a little lower and make sure that the trigger finger is spread or the index finger is spread on the racket. Now there's another little subtle tip that I'm going to give you that's going to help you gain more power. And this is assuming that you have a continental grip. If you have a forehand grip, you can ignore this tip. As a continental grip, with a continental grip, I see a lot of players actually that have moved towards the backhand side. So the racket face is open like this when they get ready to serve. I want you to move the racket slightly towards the forehand side a little bit, so it's in that weak continental grip. Now when you go to swing, it's going to be easier to pronate. So instead of focusing on pronation, you can just swing normally, but because you've shifted your grip ever so slightly, the racket is going to go into this position easier. Again, if I have that backhand towards that backhand grip, if I swing like this and try to pronate, look where the racket goes. If I move the racket a little bit more towards the forehand, then I can make the racket go in this position much easier. This is one of the secrets to Pete Sampras's serve. It's something that I experimented with over the years. Now, you may lose spin when you change to this weaker continental grip, but you will gain more power. All right, that's enough with the grip. Let's move on to some of the next concepts that I want to talk about. I want to talk about the first move. When I get into this serve position here, so many players open the racket face like this when they start to take the racket up. Or they move with the arms like this. But one of the keys to developing natural power is to feel like the shoulders turn first. Just picture Roger Federer. This little move right here is Roger Federer, Pete Sampras. They don't move with the arms first. This is a common problem. So now you're actually working against your body. You're only moving the arms. We want the hips and the shoulders to move together in the beginning. As you're bringing the racket up, you want to make sure the palm stays down. Okay, this is very important. We don't want the racket face to open like this. You're going to lose power. You're going to end up pushing the serve more when you open that racket face too early. So it's a slow gathering where the palm stays down longer, and that will help you get to that amazing trophy position. Now, this next key that I want you to focus on, or that I want you to understand, is that you've got to get your hand closer to your head in that trophy position. Now, not all players need to do this because some of you are too close like this, but the majority of players are too far away with their hand and their arm like this, in this position, okay? So they take the racket and there's too much distance. But if I'm a football player or a baseball player, I'm gonna get my hand in this position right here. So I wanna do the same thing when I go to serve. Again, picture Roger Federer in this position right here. The hand is closer to the head. We wanna get into that throwing motion position. We wanna make sure we're in that position and we want the arm relaxed. Too many players have a lot of tension back in here with their arm. And that's, of course, not what we want. So you can see already there's a lot of components that go into creating a powerful serve. Now, the next thing that I want to focus on is the racket drop. Everybody asks me about the racket drop. When players swing, I see the back part of the swing here, and the racket might drop to here. Well, that's because you're squeezing too tight or you're too choked up. I've got a great drill where you can just hold the racket super and the pinky finger off of the grip, and you can just swing in a relaxed fashion like this. And notice how the racket just naturally drops. This is further proof that if you relax your hand, you can actually drop the racket. But most players are too tight when they take the racket back and when they go to swing. You can see I'm gripping the racket really tight, and look where my racket goes. I can't really drop it. What happens when I barely hold the racket? It just drops naturally. So that racket drop is key, and you can do drills like the continuous swing drill with the racket really low to feel that relaxation and to feel that racket drop. So I want to hit a couple serves right now. And to my point earlier about not using the legs, I can hit a powerful serve without using my legs. And I can really pop the serve without using my legs. And this is great for you out there. Practice your upper body motion. Practice your shoulder turn. Practice your arm motion without the legs. Using the legs really complicates things because syncing the upper body and the lower body is very difficult for many players. So I need you to get the upper body first. Don't worry about the legs. Just swing the racket naturally and just let the arm come through. As you're watching me serve, you should be able to notice that all the components that I talked about were there. I'm not using the legs. I've got my Continental Grip. I'm spreading the index finger. I've got the heel of the hand off of the racket, really loose. I'm making a relaxed first move, okay? A relaxed first move right here. I get up into my trophy position. My arm is relaxed. I go into my racket drop, and I just let the pronation happen naturally. I don't even think about doing this. It just happens because everything else before it is correct. So that is my breakdown of how you can get more power on your serve.
Guys, this is Tennis Evolution head coach Chris Lewitt. Great tips from Jeff, former top 100 ATP professional. Try these and let us know in the comments how they work for you. See you on the next video.